folks. This is Don Blondell in Polo. Greetings and welcome. This is Don Blondell, Hall of Fame Collectibles and more with our Hall of Fame biography. It's just going to be episode 326, HOYT WILHELM, and information about the 2024 Topps Holiday Mega Case that did come in yesterday. However, quote, we had I can't remember what they called it, some type of storm that came through last night. It did knock out power yesterday twice. Me and the wife were huddled in front of our fireplace because it was a little bit on the chilly side. I think they got a blizzard up in the mountains, but not down here because it's not cold. It wasn't cold enough down here yet. But unbeknownst to me, the power went out twice. We came upstairs from downstairs. After the power came back on the first time, we got upstairs. It was just after 12 o'clock. I came into my computer room here to try and do some of the work to prepare for today. And things like that didn't quite work out. I was getting tired. It was 1 o'clock in the morning, and I decided, okay, time to go to bed and get some sleep. And I got up this morning, found out through the night, unbeknownst to us, the power went out again. And so then this morning when we woke up, only because it was daylight, and it was almost 9 a.m. So that's pretty much what took place there. Let me get this. Get the light turned off there, the extra lighting there. All right. So that's where we stand. Appreciate God is Great coming in here twice. 129. Hello, everyone. Bernie said at 158. I'll be here listening for a bit. I'm getting ready for dinner. No problem there. And then we had God is Great saying hi to Bernie. Space Case Collectibles. Space Case Collectibles. He keeps changing his name. Space Case Cards, Space Case Collectibles. How many different names do you have there, Space Case? I'm trying to see your icon. It's too small in the chat, but that's pretty cool. And then we've got Bernie H saying Space Case, Maddie Ice saying Titus, Don, Bernie, Space Case, and Maddie. So we will go into our trivia for today, just for fun. It'll be just for fun since we are not taking any more entries. We're going to be doing November or December's giveaway, a little bit different. The end of this week should be on Friday. We will be doing the October-November giveaway. Okay, so for today, Wednesday, November 20th, the baseball birthdays are for today, Clark Griffith, Keenshaw Landis, Rick Monday, and J.D. Drew. And the team history is the title. Again, this is just going to be for fun today for now. Most likely, unless things change through the end of the year, we'll just go through and have a little bit of fun trivia before we get into our biographies for each of the episodes to finish off the year and get completed through 2024 on all the Hall of Famers that I've done. Believe it or not, this day in 2020, I did my first episode for Hall of Fame biographies is what I called it at first. And then when I decided I was going to do the whole series from A to Z, which is just Y, there is no Z's in the Hall of Fame, but there are a couple of Y's. So, but yeah, It was Hank Aaron that I did back then, and I don't even think I had a binder open for Hank Aaron yet. I do now, but and things have evolved through the years since 2020. Finally, by the end of December 2024, I should be finished with all of the Hall of Fame biographies. And that is just a matter of adding to the playlist when I finally get it organized. I might have to break the playlist down by alphabet and just put Hall of Fame A's, Hall of Fame B's, and so forth as we go through the alphabet. Okay? So, team history is our trivia for today. Which manager was ejected the most times while managing the Yankees? Is it A, Billy Martin, B, Casey Stengel, C, Aaron Boone, or D, Miller Huggins? If anybody would know the Yankees, that would probably be Bernie's son, because I know he's a Yankees fan. Okay, Bernie guesses A, Maddie Ace guesses B. We'll just go on for another seconds here real quick. I'm going to make some notes because I'm going to do a brief announcement before we get into the biography. Okay. So we've got an A for Bernie, a B for Matty Ice. Anybody else that's in the chat that hasn't guessed yet, if you want to make a guess, please make a guess. Just even a stab in the dark. We still have C and D open. And I know I'm running a little bit late today, but we'll have some fun with this. Okay. I'll go ahead and call it for now. Nobody got it right. It is C, Aaron Boone. It says on the back, C. Boone was ejected for his 26th time on September 23rd, 2022. So it was Aaron Boone for the Yankees in 2022. September 23rd for his 26th time. Okay, that was fun. A little bit of interesting tidbit. So you're probably wondering, why do I have all the teams listed here? Why do I have all the teams listed here? As we get ready and prepare to get into our holiday megas, I'm going to do something a little bit different this year. One thing I like to do when I do get my my holiday megas in is to complete kind of two parts. Okay. So what I do is I want to get just my complete set for the Topps holiday. I believe it's a 200 card set. I'll have to go into the trading card database and make sure I get everything lined up there. And then once I have my complete set, between when we start opening it and the end of the month, I am going to assign my regulars that I do packages for, or ones that have won prizes from me before. We will be doing a Christmas card giveaway too. We will be doing a Christmas card giveaway. So if you want to start sending your Christmas cards my way, I will set that up and get that in line. I will be sending out to the ones that sent me a Christmas card last year. I will be sending out Christmas cards announcing the giveaway for those that don't come into the show regularly. So I'll be working on that as a side project as far as getting my tree up in the background here and getting everything all set up. But for now, I thought for sure it would be Martin. Yeah, I know, Bernie. That was my first thought when I saw it, and I was like, watch it be somebody else. And sure enough, it was. But let's see, who do we got? We got Bernie H, Matty Ice, and Space Case Collectibles. Okay, so what I'm going to do is we've got Bernie H, and then when I have time later throughout the day, I'm going to go through and get the other ones spoken for too. But we know Bernie H is the Pirates. Okay. And then let's see. Hold on. I got to get up here real quick and go. Uh, God is great. I'm going to try and do God is great for Otani cards. Any duplicate Otanis. Okay. And then we've got Space Case cards. Who's your favorite team that you collect? As long as it's not one that's already been spoken for. But we'll get into that. Space Case collectibles. Space Case collectibles. Okay, Space Case still here? Did he take off already? All right, so after that, Matty Ice. Matty Ice. All I need to know is who's your PC team? Or if you just PC a certain player that's not spoken for. We'll be sending a Christmas card, Don. Just pick one. Giants are taken. Okay, Matty Ice says the Cubs. Okay, I can do the Cubbies. See, some of you guys that are regulars know. So Space Case, just pick one. Bum, bum, bum. So Bernie, is Bernie still here? Bernie, what's your son's first name again? I just want to get him on here for the Yankees. Okay. Matty Ice for the Cubs. Jordan. Okay, that's right. Jordan. Let me just put Jordan H on here. How's that sound? I'll do Jordan H has got the Yankees. Bernie's got the Pirates. God is Great's got the Otanis. Any duplicate Otanis from the Dodgers. If somebody ends up choosing the Dodgers, if there's two duplicates of an Otani, I'll give one to the Dodger fan. Space Case, just give me an inkling. I'm trying. Oh, hold on a second. Let me check real quick. Space Case. Where is my? Oh, there's my binder. I was wondering where my my book of names is. Space Case. Look in Space Case here. The so let's see. Oh, by the way, by the way, there, Space Case, did you say you were going to send me a card? No, Matty Ice is going to send me a Christmas card. Okay. Um, yeah, so far I've got one Christmas, actually a Thanksgiving card, but I know they'll send me a Christmas card too, and that's Luke Ledger. He's my favorite new ball player. I'll go into that on one of these streams. He used to be, you might have seen him in the channels back in the day as a Lefty Luke. If anybody out there remembers Lefty Luke, that's Luke Ledger and his family out in the state of Maine, I believe it is. I remember, I got this in the mail yesterday from them. They're from Newton, Massachusetts. They're from Massachusetts. So, well, you know what, Space Case? I'm going to give you the Giants because I think Cards in My Car with R. Posada, he's not into necessarily the Giants, but he's turning into a player collector. So I'm going to give Space Case the Giants. But yeah, I'm going to need your address there, Space Case, because I've got Casey, I've got your, I think your address, and is your zip code end in 952? I just want to make sure I've got the right city in. Oh, no problem there, Space Case, because you've been coming quite often now, and I know how to hook up Cards in My Car with our Posada. Okay. So I do have your right address in my book here. So we are good to go for there. All right. So I think we only got 5 people in here right now, right? We got, well, 4. Bernie H, God is Great, Space Case, and Matty Ice. So if anybody else comes in, what I'm going to do on my board here is I'm going to come up with some kind of sticker and I'm going to cover up the teams as they're chosen. Once we get everybody kind of spoken for, of course, you know the Mariners are mine. The Mariners are mine. But I'll give some people some duplicates if you're looking, but it's a 200 card set, so there's not going to be too many cards for each team, but hopefully by the time it's all said and done with all 20 mega boxes, once we've opened them all, including base cards, some insert cards, the ornament cards, and different things like that. I think we will go and have some fun with this as we open up, and you'll see maybe some of the stuff that you might get. Again, real quick, I'm going to turn on my little TV here that Jason sent me. That'll be like a daily occurrence here as we get ready to do our show. So without further ado, we're going to get into James Hoyt Wilhelm. Okay, so when we finish the stream today, by the time, if we get some more people showing up, we'll get more teams claimed. Okay, let me see real quick. And then again, like I said, we will, I think I can do this real quick. So if I cross off the Mariners, and we cross off the Pirates. Sorry, Bernie. To the right of the Cubs here is the Pirates. They're over here, just so you do know. Oh, there we go. I can kind of do it that way so you guys can see it still. I'm going to cover up. Let me just do that real quick before we get into our biography. And if we go a little over today, that's fine. Okay. We've got the Pirates taken care of here. Okay, there's the Yankees right there. We'll get the Yankees covered up real quick. Right? So the Yankees are spoken for. Should have started this earlier, but I formulated in my head what I wanted to do at the last minute. See the Giants. Where's the Giants hiding out? Oh, there's the Giants. Okay, it's going to be going to Space Case cards. Isn't that what I said? Space Case? Yeah, Space Case. Space Case has got the Giants spoken for. Okay, and then Matty Ice wants the Cubbies. The Chicago Cubbies right there. Let's get the Cubbies taken care of. And God is great. Oh, there you go. The kid said hello, Don. Hello there, Titus. Would you prefer just Otani cards, or would you prefer a team? Any of the baseball teams that are still left on here, and I'll tell you if one's spoken for. But Titus, you can choose a team if you'd like, or just Otani cards. And then whatever Otanis we get out of the 20 tops 2024 holiday cards. So if you could make a choice real quick, then I would know. I know you probably don't have time to chat as much. That's why I'd like to get it from you real quick. Because I want to give preference to the ones that are in the stream first. Okay, so I know as he's deciding maybe what team he'd like, let me take care of Kansas City here. That's going to be for Jason. And the next we got is the Atlanta Braves. The Atlanta Braves. Where's the Braves at? Oh, there's the Braves right there. I'll get some of the other teams here covered up that we know are spoken for. We've got the Cincinnati Reds. Almost forgot Fate, Family, and Sports for the Cincinnati Reds. Okay. All right, so then who do we got there? I'm going to wait till Chuck gets in here in case he wants to change anything. No, actually, for now, I'm going to do the White Sox for Chuck, because I know that's his main team. And plus, I think he likes Atlanta now, but I've already got Left Behind Times that has Atlanta. That's Blake, Left Behind Times. All right. Whoops. A little bit off on that White Sox, aren't I? Okay. I'll still fix it. Chuck, we're choosing. Do you want the Chicago White Sox still for the Tops holiday? Chuck's in the house. Chuck's in the house. Then who do we got after that? Oh, Kevin's got Arizona. Kevin's got Arizona. Kevin's Models and More. He is a baseball kind of guy too. Okay. We got that. We're choosing teams and marking teams for ones that I have already spoken for. Okay. After Kevin is Gourmet. Gourmet Breaks is with the Oakland Athletics, which this is their last year as the Oakland Athletics. Then they're going to be in Las Vegas. Anyone have Texas? Oh, you want the Rangers? Would you like the Rangers? You want the Rangers now, Chuck? I'll give you the Rangers. Chuck is revolting. Yeah, I know. I've heard some different talks about that. So if you want the Rangers, Chuck, I'm going to mark you down for the Rangers. I'll probably send one last batch of the older White Sox, which you probably like to collect them. But we'll go with Chuck for the Texas Rangers. Let me put you on here, Chuck, to make sure. Okay. Got you marked down there. I still love the old Sox, but these new guys are trash. No problem. No problem. I'll switch you over for now to the Texas Rangers after I send my last box of White Sox out to you. Eventually. Probably be pretty soon. Yours is probably the one that's fullest on my waiting list there to send out another package to. Okay. Matt, the Sox are revolting. Okay. So I believe I've got everybody, don't I? I got Dragon Fan. Oh, Dragon Fan Tim, the Tigers, the Detroit Tigers. Where's Detroit? Where's Detroit at? Oh, there's Detroit right there. Okay. The Detroit Tigers are for Dragon Fan Tim. Okay. So I think that leaves what? The Mets, the Padres, the Phillies, the Rockies, the Dodgers, Miami Marlins, St. Louis Cardinals, Toronto Blue Jays. I should give that one to Jays Mix. Should I give the Toronto Blue Jays to Jays Mix? I think so. He's a Toronto Blue Jays fan, right? Anybody know for sure? Is Jays Mix still a Toronto Blue Jay fan? Pretty sure. That's why the channel's called Jays Mix, right? Let's see, Jays Mix. I'm gonna make a sheet with all these listed on there and stuff. All right, thanks, Space Case. Yep, Alex. There we go. Okay. So yeah, so we have the Twins, the Astros, the Angels, the Orioles, the Guardians, the Red Sox, the Nationals, the Marlins, the Cardinals, the Dodgers, the Brewers, the Rockies, the Phillies, the Padres, and the Mets. Still on the holdout there. Oh, Sean the Jedi. Sean the Jedi is, yeah, if you guys help me out for some of the regulars that you know come in here once in a while, you got to know. So, Sean the Jedi. Astros. I mean, whether your team's doing good or bad, sometimes you're always true to your team. Like I'm true to the blue with the Mariners. I mean, you got to be sold out. Eventually, they're going to get the right combination, and everybody's going to say, "Wow, Your team finally won. Okay, so let me get the Houston Astros covered up here. There we go. Those are starting to peel. This is just mainly covering them up until we get ready there. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We've got half the teams spoken for so far. Sean definitely trashed. I got Kansas City in here, right? Yeah, that's covered up for Jason, right? Okay, I think we can get ready to rock and roll now with today's biography. And again, like I said, I will get a master sheet done up with all 30 teams. Okay, and then once we're done there, I was a Sox fan for 45 plus years. They made it impossible for me to like them anymore. Probably as bad as their last season was. I don't blame you there, Chuck. But there's always good memories with the good players they always had, right? So let's get in here to Hoyt Wilhelm's. Hold on a second. Okay, what is this? I don't need that for now. And I don't need that for now. All right. I think we're good to go now. So let's get into our biography for today. I know we're close to 3 o'clock, but we'll have fun. Then I'll get the show on the road. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 taken care of in the stream today, plus the other ones I have regulars for. So until then, let's go ahead and have some fun with James Hoyt Wilhelm. Okay. Since I don't have no baseball cards, I'll go over his Hall of Fame postcard here. It's always nice to go through these postcards. Okay. But let's go through this postcard here and go over his brief stats that are listed on his plaque at the Hall of Fame in Cooperstown. James Hoyt Wilhelm played for New York in the National League 1952 to 56, St. Louis in the National League 1957, Cleveland in the American League 1957 and 58. That's when I was born, 1958. So he played for Cleveland then. Then Baltimore with the American League, 1958 to 62. Chicago in the American League, 1963 to 68. California in the American League, 1969. Atlanta in the National League, 1969 and 70. And 71. Chicago in the National League, 1970. Los Angeles in the National League, 1971, 1972. Baseball's premier relief pitcher, used knuckleball to win 143 games, a record 124 in relief, and amassed 227 saves over the 21-year career. No-hit the Yankees on September 20th, 1958. Good year, see? I was 2 months old then. In infrequent start for the Orioles, pitched in record 1,070 games with a lifetime ERA of 2.52. So there you go. James Hoyt Wilhelm, again, was born July 26, 1922, and then passed away on August the 23rd, 2002, at the age of 80. Nicknamed Old Sarge, was an American Major League Baseball pitcher with the New York Giants, St. Louis Cardinals, Cleveland Indians, Baltimore Orioles, Chicago White Sox, California Angels, Atlanta Braves, Chicago Cubs, and the Los Angeles Dodgers between 1952 and 1972. Wilhelm was elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1985. Wilhelm grew up in North Carolina, fought World War II, and then spent several years in the minor leagues before starting his major league career at the age of 29. He was best known for his knuckleball, which enabled him to have great longevity. He appeared occasionally as a starting pitcher, but pitched mainly as a reliever. Wilhelm won 124 games in relief, which is still the major league record. He was the first pitcher to reach 200 saves and the first to appear in 1,000 games. Wilhelm was nearly 30 years old when he entered the major leagues and pitched until he was nearly 50. He retired with one of the lowest career earned run averages, 2.52, in baseball history after retiring as a player in 1972. Wilhelm held long-time coaching jobs with the New York Yankees and the Atlanta Braves. He lived in Sarasota, Florida for many years and died there in 2002. As far as his early life, Wilhelm was born in 1922, long thought to have been 1923. He was one of 11 children born to poor tenant farmers John and Ethel Nee Stanley Wilhelm in Huntersville, North Carolina. He played baseball at Cornelius High School in Cornelius, North Carolina. Knowing he could not throw fast, he began experimenting with a knuckleball after reading about pitcher Dutch Leonard. He practiced honing it with a tennis ball, hoping it was his best shot at big league success. Wilhelm made his professional debut with Mooresville Moors of the Class D North Carolina State League in 1942. He served in the United States Army in the European theater during World War II and participated in the Battle of the Bulge, where he was wounded, earning a Purple Heart for his actions. He rose to the rank of staff sergeant while in the Army and played his entire career with a piece of shrapnel lodged in his back as a result of the wounds he received in battle. Wilhelm carried the nickname Old Sarge because of his military service. After his release from the military, Wilhelm returned to the Moors for the 1946 season and earned 41 wins over the 1946 and 1947 seasons. He later recalled being dropped from Class D minor league team and having the manager tell him to forget about the knuckleball, but he persisted with it. The Boston Braves purchased Wilhelm from Moorville in 1947, and on November 20th, 1947, he was drafted by the New York Giants from the Braves in 1947 minor league draft. Wilhelm's first assignment in the Giants organization was in Class B with the 1948 Knoxville Smokies, for whom he registered 13 wins and 9 losses. He also spent a few games that season with the Class A Jacksonville Tars of the South Atlantic League and returned to Jacksonville in 1949, earning a 17-12 win-loss record and a 2.66 earned run average. Wilhelm was promoted to the Class A Minneapolis Millers in 1950, where he was the starting pitcher in 25 of 35 games he pitched, registered a 15-11 record with a 4.95 ERA. His role in 1951 with the Millers was the same as the year before, primarily as a starter, but also made 11 relief appearances. His ERA came down to 3.94 in 1951, but his record fell to 11-14. As far as his major league career, as far as his early years, though Wilhelm was primarily a starting pitcher in the minor leagues, he had been called up to the Giants team, whose strong starting pitchers had led them to a National League pennant the year before. Giants manager Leo Durocher did not think that Wilhelm's knuckleball approach would be effective for more than a few innings at a time. He assigned Wilhelm to the bullpen in the team's bullpen. Wilhelm made his MLB debut with the Giants on April 18, 1952 at the age of 29, giving up a hit and 2 walks while only recording 1 out. On April 23, 1952, in his third game with the New York Giants, Wilhelm batted for the first time in the majors, facing rookie Dick Hoover of the Boston Braves. Wilhelm hit a home run over the short right field fence at the Polo Grounds. Although he went to bat a total of 432 times in his career, he never hit another home run. Pitching exclusively in relief, Wilhelm led the National League with a 2.43 ERA in his rookie year. He won 15 games and lost 3. Wilhelm finished 4th in the National League's Most Valuable Player Award voting that season, behind rookie reliever Joe Black of the Dodgers. Jim Constanti had won it for the Phillies in 1950, and Ellis Kinder had finished 7th in the American League voting in 1951. So it was time when relief pitchers were starting to receive appreciation from the sports writers. Wilhelm finished 2nd in the Rookie of the Year award voting to Joe Black. Wilhelm made 69 relief appearances. I'll catch up to the chat in just a second here. Wilhelm made 69 relief appearances in 1953. His win-loss record decreased to 7-8, and he issued 77 walks and 71 strikeouts. Wilhelm was named to the National League All-Star team that year, but he did not play in the game because team manager Charlie Dressen did not think that any of the catchers could handle his knuckleball. The Giants renewed Wilhelm's contract in February of 1954. Second to him, that team has 0 heart. Anyone that no hits the Stankies should be in the Hall of Fame. And do you know, does he have a Cubs card? I have a Sox card and a Braves card of him, but that's it. Need it, level Jay's mix. There we go. How you doing there, Jay? By the way, Jay, you've got the Toronto Blue Jays, just so you do know, for our holiday mega openings. Okay, and I'll explain more on how that works as we progress getting to that. Well, we don't quite have all the teams covered yet, but we'll see how close we get. And we don't have to cover them all. Whatever I get with the other teams that aren't there, I'll figure out what to do. All right? We don't have to fill all 30. It'd be nice to get enough to fill all 30. We got to find a Twins fan, a Red Sox fan. I know Ethan could be the Red Sox. I think he's still a Red Sox fan. Cleveland Guardians, Baltimore Orioles, California Angels, the Washington Nationals, the Miami Marlins, the St. Louis Cardinals, the Milwaukee Brewers, the Los Angeles Dodgers, Colorado Rockies, Philadelphia Phillies, San Diego Padres, and the New York Mets. We still have those to be claimed before we start with the case. So other than that, let's keep going. All right. So in 1954, Wilhelm was a key piece of the pitching staff that led to the 1954 Giants to a world championship. He pitched 111 innings, finishing with a 12-4 record and a 2.10 ERA. During one of Wilhelm's appearances that season, catcher Ray Cack committed 4 passed balls in 1 inning to set a major league record. The record has subsequently been tied twice, when Stan Musial set a record by hitting 5 home runs in a doubleheader that year. Wilhelm was pitching in the second game and gave up 2 of the home runs. The 1954 World Series represented Wilhelm's only career postseason play. He pitched 2 1/3 innings over 2 games and earned a save in the 3rd game. The team won the World Series in a 4-game sweep. Wilhelm's ERA increased to 3.93 over 59 games and 103 innings pitched in 1955. But he managed a 4-1 record. He finished the 1956 season with a 4-9 record and a 3.83 ERA and 89 in the 3rd innings. Sports writer Bob Driscoll later attributed Wilhelm's difficulties in the mid-50s to the decline in the career of the Giants catcher Wes Westrom, writing that baseball was a game of inches, and for Hoyt, he had been that inch in the right direction. far as his middle career, on February 26, 1957, Wilhelm was traded by the Giants to the St. Louis Cardinals for Whitey Lockman. At the end of the trade, St. Louis manager Fred Hutchinson described Wilhelm as the type of pitcher who makes us a definite pennant threat. He'll help us where we need the help most. In 40 games with the Cardinals that season, he earned 11 saves but finished with a 1-4 record and his highest ERA to that point in his career, 4.25. The Cardinals placed him on waivers in September, and he was claimed by the Cleveland Indians, who used him in 2 games that year. In 1958, Cleveland manager Bobby Bragan used Wilhelm occasionally as a starter. Although he had a 2.49 ERA, none of the Indians' catchers could handle Wilhelm's knuckleball. General manager Frank Lane, alarmed at the large number of passed balls, allowed the Baltimore Orioles to select Wilhelm off waivers on August 23, 1958. In Baltimore, Wilhelm lived near the home of third baseman Brooks Robinson, and their families became close friends. On September 20th of that year, Wilhelm no-hit the eventual world champion New York Yankees 1-0 at Memorial Stadium. In only his 9th career start, he allowed 2 base runners on walks and struck out 8. The no-hitter had been threatened at one point in the 9th inning when Hank Bauer bunted along the baseline, but Robinson allowed the ball to roll and it veered foul. The no-hitter was the first in franchise's Baltimore history, and the Orioles moved from St. Louis after the 1953 season. Orioles catchers had difficulties catching Wilhelm's knuckleball again in 1959, and they set the MLB record with 49 passed balls. During one April game, catcher Gus Triendos had 4 passed balls while catching for Wilhelm, and he described the game as the roughest day I ever put in during my life. Author Bill James has written that Wilhelm and Triendos established the principle that a knuckleball pitcher and a big, slow catcher make an awful combination. Triendos once said, "Heaven is a place where no one throws a knuckleball." Despite the passed balls, Wilhelm won the American League ERA title with a 2.19 ERA. During the 1960 season, Orioles manager Paul Richards devised a larger mitt so catchers could handle the knuckleball. Richards was well equipped with starting pitchers during that year. By the middle of the season, he said that 8 of his pitchers could serve as starters. Wilhelm started 11 of the 41 games in which he appeared. He earned an 11-8 record, a 3.31 ERA, and 7 saves. He started only 1 game the following year, but he was an all-star, registered 8 saves, and had a 2.3 ERA. In 1962, Wilhelm had his 4th All-Star season, finishing with a 7-10 record and a 1.94 ERA and 15 saves. On January 14, 1963, Wilhelm was traded by the Orioles with Ron Hansen, Dave Nicholson, and Pete Ward to the Chicago White Sox for Luis Aparicio and Al Smith. Early in that season, White Sox manager Al Lopez said that Wilhelm improved his pitching staff by 40%. And he said that Wilhelm is worth more than a 20-game winner, and he works with so little effort that he probably can last as long as Satchel Paige. He registered 21 saves and a 2.64 ERA. Get a sip of water here real quick. All right. Check real quick here. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. All right. that in there. Let me see. What do we got? Thummies up here. Thummies up here. We will see. We will see when we'll start the box. I mean, we got half the battle taken care of here right now today, so that's pretty good. Got all the ones locked in so far. Okay. All right. I guess we only got 2 thumbs up. Let's get those thummies up, thummies up, thummies up for me. In 1964, Wilhelm finished with a career high in both saves and games pitched with 27 and 73. His ERA decreased to a 1.99 that season. It remained less than 2 throughout the 1968 season. In 1965, Wilhelm contributed to another pass ball record when Chicago catcher J.C. Martin allowed 33 of them in one season. That total set a modern single-season baseball record in the category. Wilhelm's career low ERA of 1.31 came in 1967 when he earned an 8-3 record for the White Sox with 12 saves. I show 7. Let me do a refresh again. Maybe I didn't do the right refresh. Sorry about that. Wilhelm was noted during this period for his mentoring of relief pitcher Wilbur Wood, who came to the 1967 White Sox in a trade. Oh yeah, I do see 7. Thanks for that. I did the wrong refresh there. Now my chat will forever take a while to reload, I think. However, the White Sox fired Stanky before the record came up. Wilhelm later broke the record as a relief pitcher. And he also set MLB records for consecutive errorless games by a pitcher, career victories in relief, games finished, and innings pitched in relief. Despite Wilhelm's success, the White Sox, who had won at least 83 games per season in the 1960s, performed poorly. They finished 1968 with a 67 and 95 record. Wilhelm was noted during this period for his mentoring of relief pitcher Wilbur Wood, who came to the 1967 White Sox in a trade. Wood sometimes threw a knuckleball upon his arrival in Chicago, but Wilhelm encouraged him to throw it full time. By 1968, Wood won 13 games, saved 16 games, and earned a 1.87 ERA, and he credited Wilhelm with helping him to master the knuckleball, as a White Sox coaches did not know much about how to throw it. Between 1968 and 1970, Wood pitched in more games, 241, than any other pitcher, and more innings with 400 and a third than any other relief pitcher. After the 1968 season, MLB expanded an expansion draft and was conducted in which the new teams could select certain players from established teams. The White Sox left Wilhelm unprotected, possibly because they did not believe that teams would have an interest in a much older pitcher. On October 15th, 1968, Wilhelm was chosen in the expansion draft by the Kansas City Royals in the 49th pick. That offseason, he was traded by the Royals to the California Angels for Ed Kirkpatrick and Dennis Bigby. Later in his career, Wilhelm pitched 44 games for the 1969 California Angels and had a 2.47 ERA, 10 saves, and a 5-7 record. On September 8, 1969, Wilhelm and Bob Pretty were traded to the Atlanta Braves for Clint Compton and Mickey Rivers. He finished the 1969 season by pitching in 8 games for the Braves, earning 4 saves and recording a 0.73 ERA over 2 1/3 innings pitched. Wilhelm then spent most of his 1970 season with the Braves, pitching in 50 games for the team and earning 10 saves. On September 21st, 1970, Wilhelm was selected off waivers by Chicago Cubs, for whom he appeared in 3 games. He was traded back to the Braves for Hal Breeden on November 30th, 1970, as the Cubs had acquired Wilhelm late in the season to bolster their playoff contention. The trade back to the Braves was a source of controversy. Commissioner Bowie Kuhn investigated the transaction and in December ruled that he did not find evidence of impropriety associated with the transaction that sent Wilhelm to the Cubs and quickly back to the Braves. Wilhelm was released by the Braves on June 29, 1971, having pitched in 3 games for that year's Braves. He signed with the Los Angeles Dodgers on July 10, 1971, and appeared in 9 games for the Dodgers, giving up 2 earned runs in 17 and 2/3 innings. He also pitched in 8 games that season for the Dodgers, giving up 2 earned runs in 17 and 2/3 innings. He also pitched in 8 games that season for the team's Class AAA minor league affiliate, the Spokane Indians. Wilhelm started 6 of those games and registered a 3.89 ERA. Wilhelm pitched 16 games for the Dodgers in 1972, registered a 4.62 ERA over 25 innings. The Dodgers released him on July 21st, 1972, and he never appeared in another game. At the time of his retirement, Wilhelm had pitched in a then major league record of 1,070 games, and he was recognized as the first pitcher to have saved 200 games in his career, and the first pitcher to appear in 1,000 games. Wilhelm is one of the oldest players to have pitched in the major leagues. His final appearance was 16 days short of his 50th birthday. Wilhelm retired to the lowest career earned run average of any major league hurler after 1927, Walter Johnson, who had pitched more than 2,000 innings. As far as later life, after his retirement as a player, Wilhelm managed 2 minor league teams in the Atlanta Braves system for single seasons. He led the 1973 Greenwood Braves, the Western Carolinas League, to a 61-66 record, and then had a 33-33 record with the 1975 Kingsport Braves. Of the Appalachian League, he also worked as a minor league pitcher, coaching for the New York Yankees for 22 years. As a coach, Wilhelm said that he did not teach pitchers the knuckleball, believing that people had to be born with a knack for throwing it. He sometimes worked individually with major league players who wanted to improve their knuckleballs, including Joe Niekro. The Yankees gave Wilhelm permission to work with Mickey Lolich in 1979, even though Lolich pitched for the San Diego Padres. Wilhelm was on the ballot for the Baseball Hall of Fame for 8 years before he was elected. After Wilhelm failed to garner enough votes for the induction into 1983, sports writer Jim Murray criticized the voters, saying that Wilhelm never had the look of a baseball player. He was the best player in history at what he does. He fell short by 13 votes in 1984, and Wilhelm was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1985. At his induction ceremony, he said that he had achieved all 3 initial major league goals: appearing in the World Series, being named to an All-Star team, and throwing a no-hitter. He and his wife Peggy lived in Sarasota, Florida. They raised 3 children together: Patty, Pam, and Jim. Wilhelm died of heart failure in Sarasota nursing home in 2002. 2013, the Bob Feller Act of Valor Award honored Wilhelm as one of 37 Baseball Hall of Fame members for his service in the United States Army during World War II. far as his legacy, Wilhelm was known as a relief ace, and his teams used him in a new way that became a trend. Rather than bringing in a relief pitcher only when the starting pitcher had begun to struggle, teams increasingly called upon their relief pitchers toward the end of any close game. Wilhelm was the first relief pitcher elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame. He is also remembered as one of the most successful and probably the most famous old player in history. Although due largely to his military service, Wilhelm did not debut in the major leagues until he was already 29 years old, and he nonetheless managed to appear in 21 major league seasons. He earned the nickname Old Folks while he still had more than a decade left in his playing career. He was the oldest player in Major League Baseball for each of his final 7 seasons. Former teammate Moose Skowron commented on Wilhelm's key pitch, saying, "Hoyt was a good guy, and he threw the best knuckleball I ever saw. You never knew what Hoyt's pitch would do. I don't think he did either." Baseball executive Roland Hammond agreed, saying Wilhelm's knuckleball did more than anyone else's. There was so much action on it. What we got here? Got it, Chuck. Thank you. Absolutely. Oops. My bad. I'm eating and forgot to smash the like button. No problem there, Jay. Be right back. All right. Thanks there, Jay. Almost done here. Do refresh there. And oops, I gotta do the same mouse. That's probably what I did last time. All right. So, former teammate Moose Gowron commented on Wilhelm's key pitch, saying Hoyt was a good guy and he threw the best knuckleball I ever saw. You never knew what Hoyt's pitch would be like or what it would do. I don't think he did either. Baseball executive Roland Hammond agreed, saying Wilhelm's knuckleball did more than anyone else's, and there was so much action on it. Before Wilhelm, the knuckleball was primarily mixed into older pitchers' repertoires at the end of their careers to offset their slowing fastballs. Be right back. Oh, man, I thought he burped. And to reduce stress on their arms, thereby extending their careers. Wilhelm broke with tradition when he began throwing the pitch as a teenager and threw it nearly every pitch. The New York Times linked his knuckleball with that of modern pitcher R.A. Dickey, as Wilhelm taught pitcher Charlie Ho the knuckleball in 1971. And Ho taught it to Dickey while coaching with the Texas Rangers. Okay, there we have it. James Hoyt Wilhelm's biography. Now we'll go over his Hall of Fame induction stats into the National Baseball Hall of Fame. So Hoyt Wilhelm was a pitcher, born July 26, 1922, in Huntersville, North Carolina. He died August the 23rd, 2002, at the age of 80 in Sarasota, Florida, in the United States. He batted right, threw right. His MLB debut was April the 18th, 1952, for the New York Giants. His last MLB appearance, July 10th, 1972, for the Los Angeles Dodgers. His MLB statistics for his career, his win-loss record, 143 wins, 122 losses. Earned run average, 2.52. Strikeouts, 1,610. Saves, 228. As far as the teams he played for the New York Giants, 1952 to 56, St. Louis Cardinals, 1957, Cleveland Indians, 1957-58, the Baltimore Orioles, 1958-62, Chicago White Sox, 63 to 68, California Angels, 1969. Atlanta Braves, 1969 to 70. Chicago Cubs, 1970. Atlanta Braves, 1971. The Los Angeles Dodgers, 1971 to 1972. As far as his career highlights and awards, an 8 times All-Star, 1953, 59, 59 for both, 61 and 62 for both, 1970. World Series champion in 1954, 2 times ERA leader, 1952 and 59, pitched a no-hitter on September 30th, 1958, September 20th, 1958, and the Baltimore Orioles Hall of Fame. He is a member of the National Baseball Hall of Fame, inducted in 1985 with 83.8% on his 8th ballot. So there you go. Hopefully you enjoyed James Hoyt Wilhelm's biography. So let me get back here real quick. All right. My dad could throw a knuckleball. I never could get it. Okay, I'm back. What did I miss? Not much there, Jay. We're pretty much finished, but I guess I could ask a question. Would you guys want to wait until we fill more of the teams? Or would you like to maybe just wait till the end of the week and start? We will be doing the October-November giveaway since the names are all full on the Wheel of Names for that. We will do that on Friday. But just looking for feedback here. 612. Because we've been on about an hour, a little over an hour, 67 minutes. I've got it right on the other side of the table here. So we could move at any time. Let me just change the camera for now. Show you guys that I am here. I am existing. And I am putting the Santa Claus look on. In case you want to see it. I've got the Santa Claus look on. All my white hair in all its glory. Thin up here, but it is there. There you go. You can see a better view of it right there. In case you wanted to see my bald head with a little bit of hair growing on it. I'm just going to see how long I can get by Christmas. End of the week sounds good. Okay. Yeah, we'll do that. So we will have, let's see, we've got this one here we just finished today. Again, we will finish by the end of the week. Tomorrow we are going to have 2 Hall of Famers. We're going to have J.L. Wilkie, and Billy Williams. So J.L. Wilkie and Billy Williams will be our Hall of Famers for tomorrow. So it will be a doubleheader tomorrow. But I think Friday is going to be a single. Let me double check and make sure. Yeah, tomorrow's a doubleheader, and Friday with Dick Williams will be a single hitter. But I do have cards on Dick Williams, I'm pretty sure. So we'll be looking at some cards, and then we will open our first after we have the giveaway for the October-November. And I will have another list made up here. Let me move this out of the way real quick. Let me put this down, switch the camera for a second here. Okay. So we will try to fill out the rest of these here. I'm going to put that just right there for now. All we got is the Mets that we don't have covered up there. We got the Mets, the Padres, the Phillies, the Rockies, the Dodgers, the Cardinals, the Marlins, the Nationals, the Red Sox, the Guardians, the Orioles, the Angels, and the Twins. That's who we've got left to go. Double overrated. Chris Sale won the Cy Young for the National League. Oh, there we go. Okay. I'm going to get ready. We're going to do the 2-minute warning here and go ahead and finish up for the day here. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me and appreciate you guys supporting the channel. Okay, so, well, actually, I don't have to do the 2-minute warning because we don't have no entries that get put in. All I got to do here really is just go in, change the camera back around, get ready to say our signature goodbye, and then we will see you all tomorrow. Hopefully everybody had some fun. God is great. If you're still there with the kids, you all have a great and wonderful day in the land of the rising sun. I know you've got winter coming up on you soon in that neck of the woods, coming up in the next month maybe. But until then, this has been Don Blumdahl, Hall of Fame Collectibles and more. Having been live to you with Hall of Fame Biography, episode 326, Hoyt Wilhelm, and our 2024 Topps Holiday Mega announcement. So we will open up our first box on Friday. So between now and then, we'll see if we can get some more of these teams filled up with people attached to them. And then we will have some fun. So until then, you all take care. Have a wonderful and blessed day. And as always, be blessed. That's what David Guru always says at the end of his streams, and I've said it on and off through the time too. You all take care. Have a wonderful and blessed day, and we'll see you same bat time, same bat channel tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time with our next Hall of Fame biography. Double header tomorrow again, remember. Bye for now and take care.